Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Curry, one-on-one, Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. The three, steps back, crossover, puts up a three. Rebound James. Second. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Darius Garland, the closer.
He put the dagger in that game.
Wow, what an unbelievable 12th straight victory as our Cleveland Cavaliers got scary there for a minute, going ahead to get advanced to 12-0 with a victory over the Chicago Bulls at the United Center tonight. Wow, what an unbelievable game here, man. And I'm Tim Daniel. I'm here with Skylar Webker, and we're going to talk about a game that I can't say I was anxious because, you know, like we keep saying, it's going to happen eventually. But the fact that it hasn't happened is kind of proving us wrong. But tonight, there was definitely cases where I thought it was coming. I really thought that that third quarter was really tough. I mean, they until the about 5-minute mark, they couldn't hit anything. They're down 83-76 about 5 minutes ago. They're 3 of 14 from the field in the quarter at that point. And then Kenny sticks with the second unit, doesn't bring any of the starters in, just lets them play it out. And Ty Jerome, TJ Maxx, and George Niang,
The minivan.
The minivan. And, you know, Karis LeVert hits a couple shots too. Dean Wade has some huge moments, has that block shot there over, I think, Ayo Dosunmu, and just kind of keeps them in the game. And then, so let's kind of talk about that real quick, I guess, before I get all overboard. We get into everybody else. So they're down. Jerome misses that three. It bounces in the air. He goes and gets the rebound, hits LeVert. LeVert hits the three. All right, cool. And then next possession, they force a steal. And Jerome's driving to the paint, looks back, sees Niang by himself, and hits the three. And Dean Wade, I'm sorry. And that gets them back in the game. They're down 2. So that really was kind of the big swing they needed. And from there, it looks like they kind of just got things going again. They did what they do.
You might, for any 2K players, everybody in that bench unit, but especially Ty Jerome, that game against Brooklyn and now has the microwave ability.
Mm-hmm.
I
like it.
He himself, when he gets hot, he gets everybody hot.
Yeah.
Let me just roll off his stats tonight. 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 rebounds, while being 5 for 10 on the floor. Incredible.
That. Yeah.
Incredible.
It was really awesome. We did miss our prop bet tonight by 4.5, but I will take the win.
Yeah,
for sure. So you mentioned Ty Jerome and how good he was. George Niang also tonight, really, really good. So with him, you're looking at 12-5 with plus 15 when he was on the floor.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. You take that every day of the week. And that's not even talking about the things that Donovan Mitchell did tonight, which we're going to get to here in a minute. But just an awesome game again. I feel like we're running out of ways to say, wow, this team's really good and has something going for them. But this really felt like it was closer than the other ones, right? I know they just came back against Brooklyn the other night. They've had a couple epic comebacks where they've come back from larger deficits, and they came back from tonight. They were down 9 was the bigger deficit. And the Bulls played great. Zach LaVine was awesome. Kobe White was awesome. Josh Giddey was good, but was for sure being hunted defensively there at the end of the last quarter of the game. Billy Donovan is a coach I have a ton of respect for. There's no way he thought that he could guard Darius Garland. There's just no way. And you can see immediately he was like, all right, Pat Williams, you're going in. But
I know we're running out of ways. Hell, this team's awesome. I'm running out of ways to figure out how you beat these guys.
Yeah.
Like the Bulls went with what they're good at, pace, the number 1 pace team in the league. So you can't out hustle them on the floor. You can't outshoot them on the floor. No lead is safe on the floor. I mean, I don't know how you beat these guys.
Taking care of the basketball, which the Bulls did not do.
No, not tonight.
No.
Woo-wee.
Yet again, Cleveland adds to their NBA leading points off turnovers stat where let me see what the final tally was. I knew at one point it was 33-9. So it ended up being points off turnovers and it being 35-11. So same difference.
Yeah, I mean, 20 turnovers on the Bulls tonight. Oof.
Yeah, and they out-rebounded the Cavs by a good amount tonight.
Yeah, Jared Allen was pretty quiet tonight.
Yeah, and hopefully whatever that still was at the end of the game, hopefully that's nothing serious. They can kind of move forward there. But so Cleveland, once again, they find a way to force turnovers. They shot the ball okay. Probably wasn't their greatest shooting night. But that's, they do what they do, man. They force turnovers. They get you out in the transition, and they score on you. The Bulls tried everything, right? I mean, these two teams chucked up, I think, 100 threes. So
you might actually be right.
Cleveland had 45. Chicago had 38. So short, just a little under. So about 80 something or so, 45 and 30. No, I can't do math. Yeah, 83 threes were shot in this game between the two teams.
Yeah, I mean, outside of turnovers, Chicago had a better shooting percentage, better percentage from behind 3-point, better percentage on the line, out-rebounded them, and like we said, played what they're good at, which is pace. And yet the Cavs still found a way to win.
Yeah, I was getting nervous there when Kobe White and LaVine were hitting those super deep threes.
Yeah, when they were doing the logo from the logo.
Yeah, I was like, okay, maybe it's maybe tonight's the night. But obviously they find a way to put it together and get the big W. So now on to 12-0. You mentioned Jared Allen was a little quiet tonight, kind of going through the starters, and obviously I want Mitchell to kind of be the last point of the conversation tonight, obviously, but another double-double for Mobley, 15 and 11. No block shots tonight. Don't see that too often from Evan Mobley games anymore. Was a plus 11, but Allen, 9 and 5, missed that his last free throw to give him a chance at double figures. Yeah, the Cavs had 3 blocks tonight. Dean Wade had 2 of them.
Wild.
Yeah, wild. Okoro had a game where tonight, I'm not going to say Okoro struggled. He took 3 shots.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of let DG, who was the defending Eastern Conference Player of the Week, with 5 assists and 4 steals on top of his 17 points. Pretty nice.
Yeah. For Okoro, does he, I think maybe I'm getting this impression of him that he is one of those guys that just thrive coming off the bench.
He could, yeah.
I know that Kenny Atkinson said that this is the starters probably until Max gets back.
Mm-hmm.
But should it be? We saw Dean Wade was really good when he was, or at least decently good when in the starting rotation.
I'm okay with it because I don't think they really need Okoro to score. And what I mean by that is what they're getting scoring wise from DG and Spida and Mobley. He can kind of score when he needs, kind of score when the ball comes to him, and the rest of the time just go guard Zach LaVine. Yeah, and I think that's kind of what is a really beneficial thing for him. And Okoro is certainly capable of shooting well. We saw it last year; he shot 38% from 3, and we've seen it in stretches this year as well so far. But right now, while they're still kind of waiting for Max to kind of do his thing, I don't think I'm messing with the rotation because it's working.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put Karras in the starting lineup because I feel like Karras is in the perfect role.
Agreed.
Sydney says start TJ Maxx over Okoro. I'm open to seeing how it would go, but this is the thing I also point out a lot in the NBA that people kind of don't really talk about is I think who closes the game is far more important to me than who's on the floor for tip-off. And so you saw tonight, it was Ty Jerome, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Dean Wade,
Mobley.
and Mobley. Well,
Yeah.
obviously part of that's Jared's injury.
Yeah.
Which again, Hopefully nothing serious. We should have an update on that by the Wednesday show after the Sixers game. And realistically, I think that the way things are rolling right now, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
No, I mean, it's a valid point. We're 12-0 for a reason. God, I mean, I feel like we come on here every time and just talk about how much better this team is or how improved this team is. Just something as simple as a new coaching system. And I'm running out of ways to say how awesome Kenny Atkinson is. Happy to do it. But, man, I feel like people are going to start thinking these are just reruns.
Yeah. No, it's not. You can check the title. But, yeah. So I text you on the side during the game about George, and my comment was, "I'm so happy there's someone in the NBA that has the same physique as me," and so I don't know.
He's got the dad bod, dude.
Definitely got the dad bod for sure. And I might actually be in a little better physique. Just I can't shoot 44% from three. I'm not even drinking tonight, guys. So.
Hey, he's the minivan for the reason.
Yeah.
It's not that it's because the dad bod, man. He's getting kids to soccer.
Dude, it has like the cleanest shooting stroke ever. He looks like the dude at the Y that like runs and you're like, all right, I'll guard grandpa, and grandpa just knocks you out on the floor. Like just takes care of business. He's just running around you. He's just hitting shots. He's had a couple games this year where he's been pretty good. Tonight, he was really good. And it wasn't just 3-point. It wasn't just shooting, battling on the boards, playing defense. I mean, he's guarding, Kobe White in some stretches. He's getting switched on Kobe White, and he's holding his own. He's guarding LaVine, and he kind of forced LaVine to kind of bobble the ball on a couple plays and pick his dribble up, and that was huge. And I think the other thing, Sky, that's really important here that we're pointing out is it's really the first game that with these bench guys, all these bench guys who are shooters, that it wasn't Sam Merrill's night to score, and they still managed to get these games from Karis, George, and Ty.
Yeah, and we've touched on it a couple of times, but this is the most consistent I've seen Karis LeVert. I think in his career, he's consistently good for 12, 14, 16. He's not doing the 40-1.
3 to 5 assists and
right. So I think just getting that consistency out of him, getting a very hungry Ty Jerome, TJ Maxx, who wants to prove to everybody that he deserves to stay in this league and be in this league, especially being out all of last year.
Yeah.
I think this bench unit is just absolute electric factory. And I would say probably better than most NBA benches in the league.
Yeah. I think if you're talking to teams right now there's probably a lot of teams who would say they wish they had the Cavs bench. The Lakers, the Bucks, two obvious ones. The Sixers, who they'll see on Wednesday, would probably really like to have this bench around Paul George right now. And here's another thing that really stood out about the bench today and tonight's game. So from the bench tonight, they had 39 points, but 36 of those are LeVert, Yang, and Jerome each getting 12. You'll take that any night of the week.
Absolutely.
Here's what is really impressive. Tonight, the Cavs had 26 assists as a team. The bench had 14 of them.
Damn.
The bench had, out of the 43 rebounds, had 16 of those.
That's pretty good when you're Mobley and Allen are your starters.
Yes, right. Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. And 4 of those were offensive. So they're crashing the glass.
Yeah. No, I mean, is there another bench in the league? I'm starting to struggle to remember a bench that could impact the game as much as this Cavs bench has.
Oklahoma City for sure is probably the biggest one. This probably rivals them. I know they just put the business on them, but Golden State normally you can count on their bench.
Right.
And then of course, the Celtics bench is fine. I don't think it's better than the Cavs, but just Tatum and Brown are so great and it makes them so nearly unstoppable.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can really remember a time. Maybe Oklahoma City. I think that's a good comparison with their bench, but where a bench could absolutely flip a game like they did tonight.
Yeah, maybe those Derrick Rose Bulls teams when they had that bench mob.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that team was so deep.
yeah, they were really good. And I do like I mean, especially now that the Lakers have made the move with D'Angelo Russell to the bench. I know I just said a second ago that they would probably like to have these guys. I'm sure LeBron just wants shooters around him.
Yeah,
maybe he could just kind of go be the fifth option on this team. You know, end your career on a high note, my guy.
Hey, Kenny Atkinson made him an all-star before.
Yeah, I wouldn't want D'Angelo Russell here. I would take LeBron in a heartbeat if LeBron wanted to come back and play for this team.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. But we're not going to get to that. That's not going to be a conversation here. All right, let's talk about Donovan Mitchell tonight because, highlight after highlight after highlight tonight. 35 points. I text you guys that betting which Cavs guard is going to go off every night is a coin flip at this point. I'm sorry, 36 points. So Donovan Mitchell tonight, 36 points, 2 assists, 4 steals, 8 rebounds. What's up?
Oh, I thought you were into threes. 7 threes.
7 threes, and it was 5 of 6 from the line. Dude, this is the fun thing that's really, really fun. And yeah, Sydney pointed out there. He almost had the dunk that ended the game, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Just broke their spirits at the end there, but did everything else. I was blown away by the fact that he really hit the boards in this game. I thought the Bulls had a good game plan for him, but he's just so excellent offensively that stopping him is is so difficult when he's rolling the way he is in tonight's game. Multiple plays to talk about, particularly. Obviously, the spin layup was like John Morant-esque.
That was so like crazy to watch. I don't know, just being able to think on your feet like that and hit the spin move and just float it up there.
Yeah, the footwork's unbelievable. The 3-point shot, I mean, he had multiple big ones in this game to kind of keep them in pace because there were stretches where him and LaVine looked like they were kind of going at it, going back and forth.
I mean, I think he's 15 in the first quarter.
Yeah. He was really good. And another one of these Donovan Mitchell games that kind of he's made his legacy on, and having one of his best years yet, where he's playing some of the lowest minutes he's ever played.
Yeah, I had to look it up because it's crazy to me that he's putting up these numbers while he hasn't crossed the 35-minute mark yet this season.
Insane.
I mean, it just shows like how good this team is. Yeah, he hasn't passed the 35-minute mark once this season.
Yeah, 35 was the max he's played so far.
Yeah, that was the first game in Milwaukee.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't have that in front of me. Yeah, man, I think that's just kind of nuts because it keeps his legs fresh. I mean,
yeah.
So come those stretches, you're going to still have him kind of out there doing this thing. It's nuts, man. It's unbelievable the way that they've put this game plan together for him.
Yeah, he's going to be so fresh because that was kind of what happened last year. He was on an unbelievable pace last year and then just got wore down towards the end there.
Yeah, and I think that with him too, and he talked about that this week, where just how dangerous and deep they are. It's like, yeah, we have me, we have Darius, we have Ty, we have Evan. He's like, and it could be any of our nights, any night of the week, and we just don't know until the ball starts rolling. Paraphrasing, of course, but just kind of like the point hitting the same is that he's not going to have to do this every single night, and we've talked about that a lot already in this year and how great that is for this team. But when you do get those nights, it's so fun to watch.
And that just like shows the maturity of Donovan Mitchell as a leader of this team.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I don't need to be the guy doing this every night. Like, let me help others, facilitate others, empower others, which you don't really see from NBA superstars.
For how short he is, his explosiveness is unbelievable.
Oh, I mean, we'll never see the explosiveness of Derrick Rose ever again. But
No.
But yes, he is. I mean, just how quick he's able to accelerate and get up there. And when he's up there, hold his own, hold his weight. I mean, he's kind of hard to stop. He's like a WWE wrestler coming off the top rope.
Yeah, he really is. So yeah, Sydney brought this up. I was going to make this point as well. So also had a history making tonight. Third most points, third most 30-point games in Cavs history, behind World Be Free, who he'll pass this year, and LeBron, who he's probably going to play another 10 years in Cleveland to pass. But past Kyrie Irving, which is kind of crazy, because I think it was 134 games.
Yeah,
if I remember the number correctly, that he hit the mark in. And Kyrie, I think it took like 300 and something. So that's insane. Pretty unbelievable. And that's also with not having an offensive minded coach for 2 years here.
Yeah. He is, I mean, he's everything that the Cavs asked him to be and then some.
Yes.
I think this might be like one of the first trades where somebody gives up 5 draft picks and it works out.
Yeah. Yeah. Milwaukee's like, how'd you guys do it? Explain it.
Along with like making history, Darius Garland passed Kyrie Irving for 4th place in Cavs history for 3-point.
He's going to have that record.
I mean, yeah, you're behind LeBron.
Yeah.
The people that are ahead of him are LeBron, Kevin Love, and Mark Price. So you might catch LeBron because he wasn't a great 3-point shooter in the beginning of his career.
Right.
So
I could definitely see him bidding it. It's probably crazy to say right now, just reacting to this most recent game played that just finished 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
but, well, I'm not counting it out, I should say, more than anything. So now that they're 12-0 and they got this big win, they have one more game, Skylar, before the Cup. Dun, dun, dun. How crazy is it, the way the Cup worked out, that the only 2 teams in the East with a winning record in the same pool play?
And they don't face each other in the first, at least in the knockout
Till next
round.
week. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
do we know who Boston's playing in their knockout round or the first round?
So it's not necessarily like every team will play each other once in your group before the quarters. So let me pull up the Celtics schedule. Because I think they play tomorrow, if I remember correctly. This is where I normally count on Sydney to pop in with her information. So let's see. Yeah. So they play tomorrow against the Hawks. That's their first game.
Got it.
Why is my computer's doing some funny stuff? All right.
Oh.
6th in 3-pointers is Jetty Osman. I did not realize that. Not that Jetty wasn't a great 3-point shooter, but I don't realize Jetty played enough games for that.
I mean, he was here quite a while.
He was. And great, he was on some bad teams. He was on a finals team, but he was on some bad teams.
Yeah. He was a rookie on that last finals team.
Yeah. He was like LeBron's sniper. If you look at that team, I think that's LeBron's greatest accomplishment that he took that team to the finals, realistically.
Yeah, that was
Ante Zizic. Yeah.
George Hill.
I mean, George Hill was good, but
It wasn't the George Hill at that point anymore.
Yeah, and obviously favorite of the block the shot to stop, Larry Nance Jr., who we are saying,
bring him back.
Come home. Just come home, Larry. You already have a house in Cleveland. You'd be the perfect third big for this team because you run the floor really well.
Yes, he does.
You're going to see when you play these guys here in a couple weeks how well you'll fit in.
He's on the Hawks now, right?
Yeah, so they play Boston tomorrow. And then, of course, Cleveland plays Chicago again on Friday. Do you like the court this year, by the way?
I love the court. Well, I love it this year. I loved it last year too. I also think the Cavs have the best color scheme for the court.
I did too. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm really excited to see it. But we do have one game before that. So one game that's not the NBA Cup, but Skylar is going to be awfully interesting because they got to make the trip to the Wells Fargo Center on Wednesday in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to face the 2-7 Philadelphia 76ers. Now, of course, this is a team without without Tyrese Maxey. They are a team that found a way to win on Sunday against the Hornets, even though I don't think either team really wanted to win that game, if you go back and watch it. But the thing that's interesting is it sounds like that is the Joel Embiid debut game for the year. And on top of that, the news comes out. I mean, the reports that come out today, you got to see how things kind of go the next couple of days, that Jared Allen is injured. So,
did
he play?
Will that be the debut game?
I don't think he's going to be playing against the Knicks tomorrow. Yeah, and they're on a back-to-back.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They're on a back-to-back. Their game tomorrow against the Knicks is their cup game.
Yep.
So I didn't know if they were going to throw Embiid in that first game to, get their cup going.
I am wrong. Joel Embiid is expected to make his debut, barring any setback. There's a chance a 7-footer will be playing against the New York Knicks, according to the AP. So you are right. I am wrong. And he doesn't play back-to-backs. So,
Nope.
All right. There you go.
So there will be no Embiid, no Maxey.
Paul George and Caleb Martin. What's the kid's name? I really like the rookie. It's escaping me now. Hold on. Let me pull up the box score.
Yeah, there you go.
Jared McCain.
Oh, okay.
I love that kid. That kid
is good.
He's good. And had a really good game yesterday. Andre Drummond, former Cavalier. Huh?
Yeah.
Going against Evan Mobley. Cool. So there's that fun matchup. Gershon Yabusele, after being a silver medalist with France and getting back in the league, has been really good for the Sixers off the bench. So that's
I need
cool.
to watch more Sixers games, man.
And then Kyle Lowry and his 87-year-old
he's
NBA
been in the league
career.
forever.
Yeah, going against Darius Garland. I like Garland and the speed matchup there for sure. But I'm not ever going to count the Sixers out. They are always going to find ways to be competitive, even as things are not going well right now. They had the Lakers kind of in hand for a stretch in that game on Friday night and couldn't beat them. And like I said, they were competitive with the Hornets. Doesn't mean it was a good game. They were competitive.
Right.
But I'm excited to see how does Isaac Okoro do guarding Paul George in this game, because you're going to see a lot of that.
Yeah, I was unsure if they're going to match up Okoro to Paul George, or if they're going to match up Mobley to Paul George just to have the length.
True.
But I guess that entirely depends on the Jared Allen situation.
Yeah, you're right, because you could kind of see a situation there where that means Dean Wade's in the starting lineup and Mobley's guarding Drummond.
Right.
Which, as much as I like Andre Drummond, I like the Cavs' options there, because Drummond's feet are not going to be fast enough to stop Mobley from getting to the rim if he wants to.
He wears concrete shoes, dude.
Yeah. Unbelievable rebounder. I mean, maybe one of the best rebounders I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When the Cavs traded for him from Detroit, that was the one thing I was like, we're finally getting a real rebounder. And he did that while he was here in Cleveland. He was a glass eater for sure.
Yeah, he's done that everywhere he's been, for sure. And this is his second stint with the Sixers. So I think it's going to be an interesting one. I just think at this point, looking at where things are between both teams, and like, look, it's the NBA. Anything can happen.
Yep.
You come out flat, it's going to be tough for you. But they don't have an answer for Mitchell, and playing a really physical Knicks team who I know haven't put it together just yet. The night before
helps a lot.
It does help the Cavs a lot, and albeit I understand that Philadelphia is home for both those games, so that's definitely beneficial to them. They don't have to go play at Philly and then go to Cleveland. But it's gonna be a fun game, man. It's gonna be one where I suspect the Cavs will keep it rolling, but I would not be shocked if Paul George has one of these insane games that we've seen him have in the past.
Yeah. I mean, I think the being on the second night of back-to-back helps the Cavs, or with Philly being on the second night, but being on the second night with that first night is a cup game.
Yeah.
I think that's
a great point.
Help.
Yeah.
I think that's really going to help this Cavs team kind of get the upper hand as far as pace and endurance as we get through here.
Yeah. Sydney says this should be a game where the Stars barely play in the fourth quarter. I hope so. I want to get back in time for Friday for their cup opener and be ready to go. So kind of go over that real quick before we get out of here, just so people know the schedule for that is. Come on, NBA app. I just had this up. So Friday.
Go ahead.
So Friday they have the here it is, the schedule. Thank you. So Friday's the Bulls game in Cleveland. I suspect they're going to be announcing before then, even though they've already leaked on the internet, the city jerseys.
Oh, right.
Because normally the city jerseys are worn in every game. So Friday you have that Bulls game, and then let's see, Tuesday on national TV they're at the Garden playing the Celtics, and then on
the 29th,
Friday the 29th. They don't have, I mean, it's a weird schedule, but anyway, Tuesdays and Fridays are when all the games are played on the Cup. So anytime the Cavs have a Tuesday or Friday game between here and the first week of December is when they'll have because they got the Hawks at 2:30 on the 29th.
We'll be getting in and out of that game pretty quick.
Yep. Thankfully, I'll be off work in time.
Yeah. I'm going to have it on the TV while I'm working here. No, I'm excited for the Cup. It's still taking a little getting used to because last year was the first year of it. But I'm excited. I love that it brings this different energy to this season.
Yeah, I'm calling it. I call it on the happy hour, so I got to keep it. Cavs Nuggets finals for the Cup.
You're still on it?
Still on it.
Even for the Nuggets?
Yeah, because their starters are still pretty good, even though Murray struggled. Their bench stinks. But you can't count out Jokic.
Yeah, you really can't.
Yeah. So, and there's no answer for him, except for I think Anthony Davis is the best answer for him. And Anthony Davis has been incredible this year.
He really has. I saw a highlight from, I think it was tonight's game or maybe it was yesterday's game where he just an insane block at the rim.
Where he rubber armed Jakob Poeltl and got poked in the eye in the same play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all for Anthony Davis should wear goggles because he gets his eye hit all the time.
Yeah, I feel like that's true. I feel like I see him getting poked in the eye way more than any other player I've ever witnessed in the league.
That's 1,000% accurate. Yeah, it really is. All right, man. Anything you want to get to before we get out of here for this one?
Yeah. So I just want to recognize today being Veterans Day. Thank you to all of the men and women that have served or are currently serving. Kind of had a weird start to the year where my brother-in-law was he was a veteran, Jacob Durbin, and then he became a police officer in Euclid, and he was unfortunately killed in the line of duty earlier this year. So I haven't had a lot of time to sit and reflect on what it truly means to serve and how our protection and our freedom are not free. So I really want to share our appreciation for the men and women in our armed services, and just truly grateful for what they do for all of us.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. So on that note, we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode of the Block the Shot to Stop. We will be back Wednesday night after the Cavaliers play the Philadelphia 76ers. Hopefully we're talking 13-0 at that point. I feel like we will be, but we'll see what happens. On behalf of Skylar, on behalf of Kevin, I'm Tim Daniel. Follow us on all the apps. Subscribe to us everywhere. Some prizes coming up if you do. Stay tuned for details. Take it easy, everyone.
Go Cavs.